Was really hoping that I could get a little more decorating done on my box today, but I do not think today is the day for that because we have bag number 9 and it's a little squishy, which means we're going to be working on the pattern today. Bag number 9, let's see what we have. The name of the yarn is Raven. Of course it is. The intensity of this yarn, love it. The soft, squishy yarn, as usual, that Sarah of Muse 2320 always brings. We also have a little card in here today for the next instruction of our mystery pattern. Number 4, a little more add-on to the skull that we've been working on. So the day before we had the skull, the shading, now we have the raven perching on top of the skull. Okay, so yarn is Pipit colorway in Raven, 75% superwash merino wool, 25% nylon. They are all that so far, but I just want to like double check and make sure that's what it is. Stuff we're gonna need again is just the embroidery needle, but just in case you forgot, what was it? Bag number 4, we have the tin with the embroidery needle in it. We're gonna keep on doing some cross stitch today, and that's what it says on the bottom. Continue to do cross stitch for the raven. This for sure is the biggest part of the cross stitch pattern, which means that is what I have set up for my entire morning. A giant mug of coffee. Later I will grab my tea, but I knew for this I was gonna need a full, I don't know, what did we decide this was? Like 20 ounces, 16 ounces? I did say like 12 ounces the other day, and a couple of you were like, no, that is not 12 ounces. No, thank you. Whatever it is, it's full. I've already had one of those, so I am ready to go. When I do cross stitch, I kind of like to set things up so that I can really get into it. I don't really enjoy doing it like on the floor or on this couch or something like that. I do actually set it up on my table. That way I can lay it flat and I have all the pieces. I mean, it's not as intense as color work where we have like a million different colors of yarn strands going all over the place. We just have the one to work with, but I still am enjoying flat on the table. That way I can work from left to right, go all the way across, or however it is you're doing it, but that's just the way that I go about it. And that way I can see it a little bit better too, which means that I need to have something in the background going today, especially if I'm going to be working up this entire raven here. I need some background music. There is a couple of lo-fi stations that I've been listening to. Lo-Fi Girl, obviously. I've been listening to that pretty much ever since they switched it over to Spooky. So if you haven't checked that out, definitely go over check it out. Lo-Fi Girl has the like cut pen is a cauldron, like everything is spooky. Obviously she's decorated as a skeleton. It's awesome. And then the music that goes along with it, it's only a few songs that are on repeat, but they're really nice to just for the ambiance in the background, and I can focus really well on what I'm doing. I also have a few movies that I wrote down that I figured we should chat about before I completely forget about them. And this one came out in the middle of September. So Halloween, whenever that dropped, was like September 16th, 15th, something like that. They had a couple of brand new movies right away. The first one, Werewolf by Night, I still have not watched that. So I'm thinking today is going to be the day. I'm just going to throw my headphones on and listen / watch that one. The next one is No One Will Save You, which I had to watch it immediately. Like I saw this one come out and I was just super interested in it. I didn't really know anything going into it, and I would say if you were also interested in it, do that. Don't really watch a trailer, don't research it, don't Google it, just get into the movie and go. It was a freaking wild ride, but if you like alien abduction type of horror movies, it was really fun. Like I watched it again when it first came out, and I'm already gonna rewatch it today while I'm doing the cross stitch. So I really enjoyed it. What else do we have? I feel like Hulu dropped a lot and I've just been all over the place with my movies. Oh yeah, The Boogeyman. How did I forget that? For surely going to be watching that today. I don't know if while I'm doing the cross stitch though. I feel like I'm gonna get sucked into this movie and I'll only get like a row and a half of cross stitch done. So I'm gonna probably save this one to the end, but today for sure I'm gonna be watching that. The rest of these are just my favorite movies to have on the background, and they're like my go-to whenever I need to focus on something, but I want some fun entertainment going as well. Frankenweenie. If you like claymation and you haven't seen this Tim Burton movie yet, watch Frankenweenie. It's adorable. It's a little bit sad. Definitely family friendly. Claymation. It's black and white. Really, really fun. Loved the characters. Next is Paranorman. Have not watched that this year, which is bizarre for me because that is one of my absolute favorite movies for October that I have to watch. It goes Coraline and then Paranorman, and I have to watch them every year. Yet to do that, and then right underneath that was Coraline. That I've watched already. I've watched it in October. Pretty much every single month I throw it on at least once in the background. Sometimes I even throw it on to fall asleep because I love the colors of it. I love just everything. Everything Coraline. Do we have her? Yeah, we have a little Coraline doll chilling back here. We love Coraline. I still need to make a little me doll, but I should put that on my list because this was really, really fun to make. And since it was just a ragdoll style and like her little feet are adorable, it was pretty easy to just kind of roll through. I don't even remember the yarn that I used with this, but it's really soft. I know that this is Michael's Impeccable and that this is Furls in, I can't remember the name of it, but I knew that that one was going to work really well for the hair because I can kind of like brush the bottom of it and kind of pill it a little bit. Actually, this might be the Furls Merino yarn. I think that's what it is. Yeah, for the entire body. The whole rain jacket does come off. I just sewed it together right here, but if I want to, I like the top right here is like really loose, so I could just pop that off and put buttons. That was my original intention, was to get buttons like this and put it on the side. I think I do want to revisit it and add some more buttons to it and maybe make some rain stompers too. It's cute like this though. I have a couple of podcasts set up and ready to go too. In fairness, I don't know that I'm gonna need all of this. I just wanted everything ready so I can power through it, and like however I was feeling this morning, movies or podcasts, whatever direction, I was ready to just go and get into this cross stitch. So the first one up is Wooden Overcoats, which is not a new podcast by any means. And I think that like you and I have already chatted about it a couple of times. There is 4 seasons out. It's been going for a while, and it's about a family that runs a funeral parlor in a small town. Super campy, funny vibes the entire time. This one isn't on my list, but I always have to mention it in case you like really, really scary podcasts. Baraska. There are 2 seasons. The first one was killer. The second one definitely lived up to my expectation as well. But that is like scary. That is one of the very few podcasts that I have ever listened to that I actually got a little like stressed out from listening to it in the best way possible. Not stressed enough that I didn't want to listen to it, but like I felt for all of the characters in there. They were just going through so much. The whole entire setup was terrifying. And anyways, I definitely just need to like say that all the time. I feel like, again, I feel like we have talked about it many, many times, but it's that good. And the last one is totally new to me, Dark Heights. I haven't listened to any of them. It says a small California town and 3 people within it become the target of an ancient evil. There are 2 full seasons out already, and every single episode looks to be rather long, like about 30 to 40-ish minutes, which is something that I look for in podcasts. I like them to be a little bit longer. Sometimes the bite-sized ones are nice, but when I want a story, I want to feel like engulfed into it. So 30 minutes is fantastic, and there are, how many episodes? Oh my gosh, there's a lot. 11 episodes for season 2, 16 episodes for season 1, and the season finale is an hour and 11 minutes. Okay, so I am set for the day. There is not a chance that I'm gonna need all of this stuff. I am going to start with the Dark Heights, actually. I'm feeling more of the podcast vibes today than the movies, but that doesn't mean that the movies I'm not going to watch. Like today, I will probably throw them on this afternoon as I'm working on some other projects. I still have to finish my Pumpkin Guts shawl, and I have 2 more days to finish it because, again, Wednesday, I'm going to have it totally done. I did decide to go ahead and just finish it. So I am going to use the vintage vinyl on the outside of it. The Pumpkin Guts, where is it? I don't even remember. Maybe it's downstairs. Let me grab it. I thought the DK weight was going to be my deciding factor of how far I get, but that is all I have left of the Surrey alpaca. I don't even know that I'm going to get one more round, actually. Let's see, where is the end of it? Oh, no. I think I'm going to have to pull this one out. I don't think, because I just started a new round right here, and I got to go all the way around. Yeah, I'm not going to make that. I am going to, after I do the cross stitch, I'm going to finish all that up today. Then I'm going to start with this on the edging. So I'm going that direction. I've made up my mind. It's official. We're just going to keep going, and I will order more of the Pumpkin Guts from Sarah whenever she has that in stock ready to go, which I will let you know too as soon as I see it. She'll definitely have it up on her Insta, so you'll probably see it too. And especially the Superwash Merino, the DK weight yarn with the Surrey alpaca, I just feel like it's definitely a moment. We need to chat about it as much as possible. So that is what we're going to be doing today, working on our raven for the cross stitch. Hopefully, between the movies and the podcast ideas, you have enough background entertainment to keep you going and powering through. It totally is doable for one day. I just know myself, and I go a lot quicker whenever I have a movie or a podcast going as well. Multiple things at one time. That's the way I like to work anyways. Don't forget to use the hashtag of 13 Nights of Poe so we can see your amazing raven as soon as it's done. I will also post mine in my Instagram story when the entire thing is done. Like, I only had a couple of rows to show you this morning. Get going on it. It will be done, it will be finished, and then we can move on to the next part tomorrow. I'm interested to see how much tea and coffee I have today too. So we'll keep track and let you know tomorrow. But otherwise, have fun today, enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and I will see you all tomorrow.